Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Inmost Industrial Stream on a Tuesday night. This is Trades Talk with your host, me, Pop. All right, as you can see by the title, switching jobs just in time. I've got a good story for you guys a little later on after we go through our news of the week. And I hope you guys find it quite interesting. And it's a lesson for everyone, I believe. But first, before I get to that, I want to say hello to you, David Glenn. Good to see you. All right. Yeah. You like that animated GIF I found, eh? That driving that giant earth-moving truck? The thing is just as big as a house. It's unreal. But yeah, those things, I think they haul between 300 and 400 tons of rock, ore, and whatever else they do in the mines up there. So that's pretty crazy. And it's all diesel electric. So you got diesel engines driving generators for driving. Each tire has an electric motor attached to it. So that's how that thing's going to move down the road, is with electric motors on each wheel. Your English teacher, B17, screwed you over this morning. So you're feeling great right now. Oh, no. That's rough, man. Not much longer, though, eh? Should be taking summer break soon, eh? Let's hope so. Anyways, let's get to the news here and see what's going on out there, out in industry, courtesy of Plant Magazine. This one caught my eye here. Electra completes feasibility study for battery recycling facility in Ontario. Okay, well, I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing or how they're going to be doing it. It can be just a lot of fancy talk until they get right down to it and show you exactly how they're going to recycle the batteries. Electra Battery Materials Corporation has completed a feasibility level Class 3 engineering study for the construction of a modular battery recycling facility adjacent to its cobalt sulfate refinery north of Toronto. And I believe they do use cobalt in some of those batteries too. You might want to fact check me on that, but I think that's what I've heard. They use cobalt in some of the batteries. Electra says the facility will be designed to recover lithium, nickel, cobalt, manganese, and graphite from lithium-ion battery manufacturing, scrap and end-of-life batteries using Electra's proprietary hydrometallurgical process. Okay, so hydro is water, metallurgical is to do with metal. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Fabric? How you doing? Your latest trip to the Beaver Hut was a bust. Turns out most of the strippers are with the 300th Field Artillery put on standby. Yeah, the old spammer there, David. Well, did they get sent to LA there? From what I've been seeing, it's getting pretty wild down there. The English finally had to write a body paragraph and use perfect grammar, spelling, punctuation, even included the word flocco non-chinhilification because you wrote an intro paragraph. You got a 0. So 70 out of 100 in your final one. You could have had a 90. Wow, that's crazy. They can't recycle the batteries. They'll shove them in a landfill and pray no one notices. Yeah, Fabric. Well, we're going to get to it and see. They're just doing a feasibility study. So we'll have to see what happens here. Hey, what's up, Godzillionaire? Good to see you, man. Everybody's favorite kaiju, Summer of Love, Part 2. Yes. Okay, so next phase of work funded in part by Natural Resources Canada will reportedly involve operating the recycling process under continuous and semi-continuous conditions to simulate commercial scale throughput. We are advancing a clear pathway to a closed-loop, domestically sourced battery material supplying chain, said Trent Mell, CEO of Electra. Cobalt recovered at the recycling facility will feed directly into our adjacent cobalt sulfate refinery, which is already in advanced construction, and other critical minerals will be returned to the battery supply chain. The integration strengthens North America's energy security and positions Electra as a first mover in the continent's emerging battery ecosystem. Drop some water on it. Lithium loves water. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, David. They are like mosquitoes tonight. See what I can do over here. I have Kik open. Let's see. There we go. Still pass for the year, so it ain't all bad. Hey, that's good, B17. That's all that matters. Just pass. Then you can get out there and do what you want. Teachers have no concept of the real. Nope, not really. Nope. This article has more buzzwords than a mosquito brothel. Hey, right on, Fabric. We are advancing a clear pathway to a closed-loop, domestically sourced battery material supply chain, said Trent Mell, CEO of Electra. Cobalt recovered at the recycling facility will feed directly into our adjacent cobalt sulfate refinery, which is already in advanced construction, and other critical minerals will be returned to the battery supply chain. This integration strengthens North America's energy security and positions Electra as a first mover. The study outlines a process in which black mass will be refined at the proposed facility to recover battery materials. The company states that the recovered cobalt is intended to be used as feedstock for its cobalt sulfate refinery, which has received funding support from the Government of Canada and the U.S. Department of Defense. Really? U.S. Department of Defense. Vector says its partnership with Aki Battery Recycling, a joint venture of the Three Fires Group, will provide a reliable and secure supply of black mass feedstock. Aki, a majority Indigenous-owned recycling venture, is building a battery collection and shredding operation focused on responsible recycling of lithium-ion batteries, manufacturing scrap. Don't you mean African-American mass? Yeah, that's right. That's what they were supposed to. That's probably what they meant. You've always had your eyes set on law, and if that fails, maybe welding. Well, you could always do welding before you do law, and then you have a backup to fall back on. Through Aki, we're building a robust pipeline to process battery manufacturing scrap and end-of-life batteries that can be converted into value-added materials right here in Ontario. Together with our partners, we are aligning innovation, sustainability, and Indigenous economic development to meet global demand for critical minerals while ensuring the battery supply chain is built on shared prosperity and long-term stewardship. Hey, what's up, Tanker, over on Twitch? Good to see you. Electra reportedly plans to engage downstream partners, including battery manufacturers and OEMs, to help determine the project's scale, timing, and potential offtake arrangements. The study, conducted with Green Lithium-Ion incorporated modular recycling technology and led to proprietary process enhancement that Electra says improve its position in the battery recycling value chain. So no physical facility yet. They're just doing a feasibility study. Well, when all these electric cars start, coughing up their batteries, when they're not able to charge anymore, and people are going to find out that it's really expensive to buy a new battery, and they have to get rid of it somehow, it's going to be shipped off to Ontario. So there you go. There's charges for that. So to me, this is just a terrible idea. You've got your battery-powered car. Your battery is, dying. It's running out. It can't hold a charge anymore. Now you have to swap it out. So that'll take money to buy the battery, money to install it, money to ship the old one away, unless you can find a place that's going to do that for you. So it's, very expensive. Must have been written by AI. It seems like it doesn't. It doesn't have a author. It just says by Plant Magazine. So maybe you're right, Fabric. Maybe it was. You're glad you're in a high school and not a cobalt mine? Yeah, that's right, B17. You don't want to be in the mines. Let's just launch batteries into space. What could go wrong? Yeah, it's when they come back that's the problem, right, Godzillionaire? Feasibility studies are a code word for graft. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we got to do a quote-unquote study just to see if we can do it. Just to see if we can make money at it. Because that's what it all boils down to, is big-time money grab, cash grab, whatever it is, government green credits, any of that kind of stuff. I think it's now MOPOC, Massive People of Color. MOPOC. All right, let's see. Canada's job market's treading water. Unemployment rises to 7% in May. Ontario announces hydrogen strategy to support jobs and energy security. All right, let's see what's going on. This is a lot of stuff taking place in Ontario. Ontario government has announced new measures to expand the province's hydrogen sector as part of its broader energy strategy. The initiative aims to support electricity reliability, reduce emissions, and contribute to economic development. Hydrogen technologies are uniquely suited to help fill gaps in the energy system that are too difficult or costly to solve through electrification alone. The government says hydrogen can help the province meet peak electricity demand, enable long-duration energy storage to complement intermittent renewables, and reduce emissions in sectors like steel, cement, and refining. Can we monetize it? Yeah. Yes, we can. Real life Mr. Krabs. I like money. Ontario is taking bold action to build an energy system that supports jobs and powers the province's economic growth now and for generations to come, said Sam Oosterhoff, Associate Minister of Energy Intensive Industries. Hydrogen is already proving its value in Ontario, and we're backing it as an important part of our diverse, reliable, and clean energy mix, one that creates good jobs, strengthens manufacturing, and builds more self-reliant province. These measures they announced include creating a new hydrogen interruptible rate pilot. The government will direct the independent electricity system operator to provide recommendations for a pilot program that would offer hydrogen producers discounted electricity rates in exchange for reducing consumption during peak demand periods. Because they have to make the hydrogen somehow, and obviously they got to use electricity for it. So unless they can find a different way to make it. You heard that 1.5 million Canadians have no jobs because companies can hire immigrants for less. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's pretty bad when they can do that. The last bold action, yeah. And raw hydrogen embrittles everything it touches. Yep. Yeah, David, they got to come up with something to help that out. Yes, diverse, reliable, and clean. Hydrogen is all those things, isn't it? Explore options to regulate hydrogen pipelines. The province is evaluating the expansion of the Ontario Energy Board's mandate to regulate dedicated hydrogen pipelines to protect consumers while facilitating more development of this new hydrogen infrastructure. Expanded Hydrogen Innovation Fund. In March 2025, Ontario announced a new $30 million round of funding for projects. One funding stream will support the integration of low-carbon hydrogen into the electricity grid, such as projects that help create a more reliable grid during peak times. The other will fund projects that support the broader use of hydrogen, such as in transportation and heavy industry. If we're serious about building a more self-reliant and sovereign energy future, we need to leverage every energy resource at our disposal to power our homes, businesses, and economy, said Stephen Lecce, Minister of Energy and Mines. Hydrogen gives us another powerful tool in our all-of-the-above strategy to deliver affordable Canadian-made energy and reduce our reliance on foreign sources. Honestly, we don't need foreign sources. We have enough oil in our oil sands and all that kind of good stuff. So this guy's a moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's stupid for them to bring in foreign oil from Saudi Arabia and that, because we don't need it. According to a summary by Natural Resources Canada of several models, a robust hydrogen economy could create up to 135,000 jobs across Canada by 2050. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's 25 years from now, and you're only going to get 135,000 jobs? That's poor. I would not be proud of that. Including thousands in Ontario in areas such as production, infrastructure, storage, and clean technology development. This modeling also predicts that in Canada, hydrogen could eliminate as much as 69 megatons of emissions each year. What emissions are they talking about? I don't understand. 69 megatons of emissions. They have to be more clear as to what emissions they're talking about. I could say that with anything. Oh yeah, we're eliminating this much. Yeah, okay. So? How long does it take for the metal to get brittle enough to unsafe? Couldn't we just make disposable hydrogen batteries? Hey, what's up, DJ Rennie G? That's an idea, Fabric. Disposable hydrogen batteries? Yeah, yes, Rico. Kaboom. Kaboom. Yes, Rico. Kaboom. Hold up. Where the foreign source? I was thinking more Middle East, Fabric. Use the foreign source. The government says several hydrogen projects are already underway in Ontario, and the new measures are part of the province's forthcoming integrated energy plan. The plan is expected to outline a long-term approach to energy infrastructure and supply to help support economic growth and reduce reliance on external energy sources. Well, okay. I mean, hopefully they've got to come up with some innovation and have it so that they solve some of these problems that come out with using hydrogen, as was mentioned earlier, the embrittlement. They have to try to come up with something to combat that. Just hoping for the best is not a plan. So we'll see what comes around here. It's throwing around a lot of people's money, a lot of the taxpayers' money, which is what governments do best. They frivolously spend your hard-earned tax dollars on stupid ideas just because their buddies need some money. Use the foreign source, Luke. Yes, I'm sure he will. Supposing that hydrogen safely doesn't sound cost-effective at all, and in a factory environment, one spark is death, depending on how much you have. I mean, you can say that, but we do have, any refinery is also the same way. Refineries have a lot of, equipment in them. They're very explosive. They have a lot of gases that are dangerous, and they still operate fine. So there are precautions you can take. There is equipment you can buy, specialized equipment. What else we got here? 2026 Advanced Manufacturing Outlook Survey opens. Industry leaders encouraged to participate. Okay. I think that's it for that. Now let's switch over. We're going to go right to the main event here, guys. And I got a little bit of story to tell you. I was out... The Flare Boss, De Flare. Yes, I know all about that Godzillionaire. When I'm driving to work, I always look at the flare stack we have, and if the flame is tall, there's something wrong. It's like, something's happening, something's not good. If the flame is just really small, it's like things are running fine. But yes, the story I have. I was out on the weekend and doing some shopping, and I ran into an old coworker that I worked with at the composting facility. And he told me that he had to move over to the recycling facility because they're shutting down the composting facility. And I was like, wow, that's wild. And he says, yeah, a lot of the guys there that I worked with are, they're going to retire. A lot of guys have moved on, and some of them have moved over to the recycling facility. So it's pretty crazy. And I tried to find some news about it. Actually, yeah, we'll skip by this. There we go. So here's the story. There's the facility there. City of Edmonton is looking into more cost-effective options for organics processing 6 years after its current facility was built. Now, the facility they're referring to is the high solids anaerobic digester facility. And I was there when that was being built. Before that, they didn't have the anaerobic digester. They had the composting facility. But then they let that run into the ground and they didn't want to spend the money to repair it. So then they built the anaerobic digester, which composts things a little differently than the actual composting plant did. A report presented Tuesday to the city's utility committee found the facility that currently processes organics at the Edmonton Waste Management Center is not financially or operationally viable in the long term. So nothing like that ever is. It's the city taking care of people's garbage. So the people that pay the taxes for the garbage, your sewage and all that kind of stuff, that money should go into supporting this. And you should be able to, with the amount of people, the population, it's almost 1 million people now in that city. But yeah, they say it's not financially viable. The high solids anaerobic digester facility opened in 2018, costing taxpayers about $45 million. The report says the facility's current processing cost is roughly 4 to 8 times higher than other methods. Now, they're the idiots that okayed this. They're the guys who were like, yeah, sure, let's build that. So I'm totally sure that it was one of their buddies that ran the construction firm that built this place. And they were all on board for building it, even though it says it's 4 to 8 times higher than other methods. So they didn't even look into other methods, or they did, and they're just like, no, we want to spend this much money. They'll have no replacements, you think? Yeah, probably. Treat your skilled workers like product and you don't last. Yeah. In your experience, all your taxes go to garbage? There you go, Godzillionaire. Especially the ones that sit in the council chambers. I'm starting to get frustrated, said Councilman Tim Cartnell, who chairs the utility committee. By 2027, the city expects it will process an estimated 121,000 tons of organic material annually, due to the 3-stream apartment and condominium collection rollout and Edmonton's population growth. The city is exploring new options to meet that demand. That includes potentially building a new outdoor composting site and repurposing parts of the current facility. So they're going back to what they did originally. They had composting facility. But I've shown you guys pictures, and I can show you more for picture time and all that about the facility getting torn down. But I'm going to go through this article, and there's another article too. I'm going to go through and I'm going to debunk everything, all the lies, because I worked there for 15 years. I know what went on. Shouldn't the feasibility study have predicted that it wasn't cost there? That's right. That's right, David. They probably should have done one. But you know what? It's whoever greases the wheels. Hey, Aris, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, we're just going over this. I just think it's crazy. And going back to the title, switching jobs, I got out 3 years ago, so I don't have to go through this, but you guys gotta, when you're at your work, you can see certain signs of things when things aren't going well. And, maybe I didn't see this part coming where they were going to shut it down, but things were getting slower and slower. So it's like, you know what? I better find something else. Humanity is evolving, just backwards. Yeah, what's the point if you can't staff them? Exactly. Administration says that would save about $75 million in program costs over a 20-year period. Okay, let's $75 million over 20 years. They see that big number of $75 million, but you got to stretch that over 20 years. So what is that? Like $3.5 million a year? You guys are idiots. Composting is an absolutely important part of the waste diversion strategy, and what administration is proposing is very reasonable, said Mayor Amarjeet Sohi. Cartmel is concerned there isn't enough information to prove that the city will recover the costs. I mean, you won't. you just about pretty much give away the compost that you make because it's so full of glass and metals. You'll have to do a better job removing that and then making high quality. Right now, they can't sell it for a high price because it's garbage quality of compost. I still have smelling problems. This is where I learned how to wear a respirator all the time. So no problem with that, Fabric. We talk about it. We talk about that it's going to be better on a net value basis to build this at the waste management facility than to do other things, but there's no numbers. There's a net present value number, but there's no capital cost number. There's no operating number. There's no analysis on the system. The city report said the HSADF was commissioned, designed, and built before the adoption of the current 25-year waste strategy, which established new standards for waste reduction and at-home waste sorting, reducing the need for specialized processing facilities. No, you'd still need the processing facilities. People aren't that great sorting out their garbage. I'll tell you right now. Some of the stuff I've seen, you see, the couches have come through, carpet, engine blocks, air conditioners. Like, people throw everything away. We had flashbangs come through, animal parts. Somebody found a pair of bear paws. It's just nuts what people throw out. Propane tanks, they don't take them where they're supposed to. They just tuck them in the garbage. Call it good. Doubt the savings are paying for the workers' medical payments. So the city contracts the operation of their facilities out to a different company. So it's that company's responsibility. That's what they did. I didn't work for the city, but I worked for a company that contracted to the city. And that's an out for them because then they have someone to blame. They don't have to blame themselves. They can be like, well, it's this company we contracted to do the job. It's their fault. So it's twofold there. They don't have to have more city employees, and they have a company to blame. Have you seen the video of the guy that threw a medical oxygen tank in the trash and it got caught? Oh, no way. If you can find that, I'll show it on here. Or maybe we should look for it after. I'm right, you should see the shit you shove in those geysers. Yeah. Let's see, where was I here? Some assumptions made in the original HSADF business case, including revenue generation through the sale of clean electricity back to the grid. Yeah, so these idiots, they bought two 745 kilowatt generators to run on natural gas, or the gas that would the anaerobic digester would produce, because that's what an anaerobic digester does. You put the organic material in it, you draw air through it, it gives off the gases, you capture those gases, and then you take them and you burn them to make fuel for your natural gas powered generator. But these guys, they didn't realize that the gas would be so sour and it wouldn't have a good mixture to run the generators on. So I don't think they ever ran the generators on that mixture of the gases coming off. And they thought they were going to be so smart and do that and sell electricity back to the electrical provider. That never did happen, though. Those guys, somebody really snowed them good, or somebody really got a good payout or a kickback for selling them those generators. Selling it back to the grid and selling capacity to the private sector are no longer economical under updated provincial regulations. Send me a YouTube link in Discord. Thank you, Godzillionaire. Hey, James, how you doing, man? How's things over in Michigan? They vented that gas? I can't remember what. I don't know if they would vent it, but they would mix it, I think. They would burn natural gas, but then they would put that stuff in as well to get burned with it. Council of the Day made the decision based on the best info that was available at some of that facility will continue to function and play an important role in the part of diversion, so he said. No decision has been made on the facility's future. Utility Committee did vote in favor of having an outside company process some apartment and condo organics. Administration says that will give the city time to determine any transition. Cartmel hopes any future plans will have more details. Well, I hope so. There's not really enough info and it's getting frustrating. Well, yeah, because you have... So council members get swapped out when there's elections, but the bureaucrats don't. And pretty much the bureaucrats call the shots and they run the show. The councilmen, councilwomen on the city council, they think they run things, but it's really the power is in the bureaucrats and they just do whatever they pay lip service to the councilors and they just do whatever they want. So that's what it boils down to. Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah. Just a minute here. I gotta try to... How do I get this out? Just go like this. Go like this. There we go. Okay, shocking moment. Oxygen tank explodes in garbage truck. Jesus! And it's on fire, too. Whew. One more time, you guys. Oh, man. Right in the guy's face. I don't think he had any safety glasses on either. So there you go. Don't throw oxygen tanks in the garbage. Somebody else sent me one too. Oh, nope, not that. Come on. Will they get the bill for cleaning up that site? They'll have to declare bankruptcy. Oh, Fabric. There was times there when our environmental person was like, we have diesel here, and I bet you the ground is just saturated with diesel. Let's check this out here. Same thing again. Bigger this time. A little longer too, it's not as short. There's the flame there I can see in the lower left corner, you guys. Oxygen's going to accelerate that flame. Okay, they just do it a few times, that's all. Okay. Send that one to Big Angry Phil for his WF stream coming up later. Under pressure. Yeah, exactly. Garbage man is not normally considered a PTSD-inducing profession. Well, geez, freaking explosions. And that's what I mean. Like, I've saw a lot of stuff that people would throw in there that you're not supposed to throw into your garbage. And this is another one done by this one was what? Global News? Okay. This is the Edmonton Sun. And this article is by Lauren Gunther. It's pronounced Gunther. Gunther. City administration is flying blind about what to do with all that oozy gooey gunk that comes out of your little green compost bucket under your sink. Okay. Not the most intelligent start off, but oh, yeah, all right. The current digestion facility was expected to process 68,000 tons of waste annually by now. Most years it can only handle about 44,000. In 2027, when apartments and condos are added to the city's 3-stream garbage recycling and compost collection system, the amount of organic waste is expected to rise to 120,000 tons or more. If the digester is inadequate now, just imagine how insufficient it will be 3 years from now. Why didn't you guys future-proof it? Why didn't you make it so that you don't have to run balls out to just keep up? Make it so that you can handle. You only have to run at half speed to handle what you have now. That way, when you get more, you can handle that. To handle the current overflow, the city has contracted with private companies to process the excess. Here's a novel idea. Why not have private contractors handle all of the organic stream? They do. The city contracts it out to a company, and the company runs the facility. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Exploding out at me, exploding out at you. And if private contractors don't want all the organics because they are insufficient customers for the compost and other byproducts, maybe the city could take the hint that there just isn't enough demand for the organics and it's hell-bent on keeping out of the landfill. I mean, putting compost in a landfill should be fine. I know they're trying to sell it because I've seen it. You can't sell it for what you make it for. Because they tried to run at ludicrous speed. That's what I'm saying, James. Why not build super oversized in the first place? That's right. Instead of having to run balls out, make it so that you can run at half speed and still handle what you're doing. But if it gets more, you can just crank up the speed a bit and you're good. At that point, the city should just consider a second novel idea. Maybe stop collecting organics separately altogether. Let us put organics in our big black bins and you can pick them up every week instead of every other week. No, that wouldn't be a good idea either. At Tuesday's meeting of Council's Utility Committee, administration sort of hinted that the private sector might do a better job processing organics when it recommended the current indoor digestion facility be shut down, maybe and possibly replaced by an outdoor compost yard, which is what they had already. They already had a curing pad outside with windrows of compost. They had it already. These guys are idiots. The whole green bucket scheme was badly thought out from the start. The current digester facility was built in 2018. It was almost immediately obsolete. Then why did they do it? I'm thinking there was a payoff there. I'm thinking somebody was like, hey, we'll build this for you. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Give me some money. And they went ahead and did it. And I watched it all get built from the ground up. You ever see that aluminum plant that just turns into a fireball in like 20 seconds? Oh, did we see that? I think somebody might have sent me. That might have been Veritax that sent me that one. But I do recall it was a hydraulic line bursting and everything just caught on fire in a hurry. The only business that right sizes are brothels. Yeah, there you go. Bureaucrats make you wonder how humanity has advanced as far as we have. Yeah, I know, David. Isn't it just sickening? It was supposed to work with composter facility at the same city dump, officially the Edmonton Waste Management Center, but part of the roof of the composter building collapsed in 2017. Guys, it did not collapse. There was a wrinkle in the roof. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or people have lied to him. The building didn't collapse. It was a wrinkle in the roof. And they just lost their minds over it because, and we go back even further to when the facility was built back in 1999, the city signed off on it, even though the deficiency of this roof was brought to them, and the builder said, this roof has a deficiency. It's not, we need more money in order to fix it up. And the city said, no, that's fine. We'll just sign off on it, call it good. So it's the city's own damn fault. The fact that the roof had a wrinkle in it, a slight wrinkle, there was no collapse. I was there in 2017. Nothing collapsed. And they say the building has never been built or maintained properly. From the beginning in 1999, it was brought to the city's attention. The roof has problems. We need more money to fix it. And the city's like, no, we're done spending money. It's good enough. We'll sign off on it. It's their own damn fault. The city is to blame. Where are we at here? Which are required to be maintained for decades before being landfilled or composted. Yeah. Mo from the Three Stooges. Don't say. Wise guy, eh? Knowing full well that the new $45 million digester building was coming online in 2018, knowing full well that the composter was essential to help the expensive new digester process organics, council nonetheless voted in secret not to build a new composter. They did it in secret, eh? Nice. That's really great for the guys that work there, knowing that these guys are going to shut down where they work. Shock Pikachu face. Yeah, there you go. I like Shock Pikachu face. And to make matters worse, in 2019, administration devised and council approved a new 25-year waste strategy that significantly increased the amount of organic waste city trucks would be picking up. Because that makes sense, right? Shut down the place to compost, but pick up more of the organic waste. These guys are geniuses. Yeah. A lot of them need some pretty good hard slaps, I think. Wait, it's Canuck. Yeah, Canuck. Nothing builds trust in government more than secret. Yeah, Godzilla, exactly. Well, these voted in secret. Not going to make one. And really, the building, and I'll show you guys video of it getting torn down. It didn't have to be torn down, but they really didn't. They really hated it, and they wanted to rip it down. They must have an idea for the land there. They must not want it where it is right now. They must want to move it somewhere. That's the only thing I can think of. I bet you in a few years, I'll be telling you guys that a big developer is building condos or something there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. There's another reason the current digester is obsolete just 6 years after it opened. Not only would administration and council not approve and build an essential co-facility, the composter, they radically rewrote the city's waste management plan to collect even more organics they wouldn't be able to process. Why would they do that? Because they're woke. Oh, wow, I've never seen that before, but okay. Compost seems so environmentally conscious, therefore it's trendy, that enabled an administration and council to waste millions on the green bucket plan and achieve little or nothing, while simultaneously patting themselves on the back for saving the planet. 4 years ago, the city decided to deputize all Edmontonians as trash sorters. Not only did you have to sort recycling from garbage, you were compelled to separate out your rotten banana peels and moldy leftovers too. Yeah, I never did that. I just told my wife, throw it all in the garbage. Don't worry about it. I know where it goes. It goes to the same place, and so just don't worry about it. So we never used the green bin. We'd always just throw stuff in the garbage. If you count storing yard waste until the city's infrequent seasonal collections and self-hauling lots of materials in the city used to collect eco-stations, there are actually 5 streams. And the intelligence at City Hall isn't increasing. According to Ward Councilman Tim Cartmel, who chairs the Utility Committee, administration came Tuesday with its proposal to shut the digester and replace it with something else without any real plan. Yeah, we're just going to shut it down. What are you going to do next? I don't know, but we should shut it down. Of course, it had to be torn down. The city can't afford another roof wrinkle gate. Nice one, Fabric. That's all right. They sort it all. Yeah, I mean, they make the citizens do it. The people, they want them to sort it out. Garbage, organics, and then recycling. With financial acumen like that, it's no wonder our city admin claims to be in dire financial straits and in need of higher and higher taxes. Yeah, glad I don't live there anymore. These guys are a bunch of morons. Working with the city was painful. It physically hurt to try to get anything done with those guys. I mean, man, oh man. Okay. You guys get picture time. You get picture time, okay? So I got pictures of the anaerobic digester. This is just this is where we divert the oil from the fresh oil and the old oil to run those generators I was telling you about, the natural gas generators. That was the this is the control panel for the shredder, and that's the amperage draw that it would while it's running with no load on it, 75 amps. This is one of the choppers that we used, a grinder, so it would grind up all the solids. This is just for my own trying to get tag numbers and everything like that. So, and they would try to use acid for cleaning the air. So they would run the air through the acid, and that would supposedly clean it, so it would be better when it gets discharged. Yo, what's up, Vertex? How you doing? Multi-chopper, great for PDF file. You better believe it, Godzillionaire. Yeah, so this is what they called them the scrubbers. So you'd have an acid and a basic scrubber. If only Splinter knew of that control panel. Yes, the shredder. Get those turtles. So yeah, there you go. So this is inside. This is where they would put the foul air through to get to scrub it so it wouldn't smell when it got discharged outside. Wouldn't it be like the best for the composting too? Just build a huge dome over a huge concrete slab and then just draw out the natural gas, put it in 500-pound LP pigs or something. So that's what they were trying to do, James, but it's the content of the gases that was the problem. The gases didn't burn well in the natural gas generator. That was the problem. So inside these acid scrubbers were pumps, because you had to pump the acid around. And here is one of the screens for the pump, and you can see how just full of debris it would get. And it would just clog the intake. So we'd have to pull them out and clean them. More pictures of tags, because you always got to know what model and everything you're looking at, who makes it, where to get it from. It's not how acid works. Yeah, Fabric. Yeah, DJ, like a pool filter. Yeah. These are just valves. This is a spring-loaded, air-actuated valve here. And it opens up this guy here. But this is all in the anaerobic digester. You see a little close-up there. It has a magnetic stop. So as soon as that red mark comes down and gets in front of that sensor, it knows that the valve is closed. And there's one up here. You got one up there at the top, one up there at the bottom. So when you got to take apart this thing, you got to really unscrew. That's fine thread as well. So you have to unscrew that thing 4 times on each one. And man, it just takes you forever. Another shot of it there, really getting in there. There's the bottom of that strainer. Hey, what's up, Lucifer? Yeah, man, sure. I'll post a link on Kick Or could one of the other guys, one of my mods, do that for me? Post the link on Kick so that Lucifer can follow. Good to see you, man. Did you have a good time cliff diving the other day? I have to admit it, I have to feel a sense of vindication. More like relief, Fabric. Like, glad that I got out when I did. Because we'd be scrambling right now. It'd be like, oh man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I've got to get out. I've got to find another job. So, not the shredder, the thredder. Exactly. Get those turtles. Once again, this is a different time that this strainer is... You had a bad spill and hurt your back? Oh man. That's not good. Yeah, here, just give me a second here, guys. Just gonna go over here, go over here. And where are we here? No, don't want to do that. There we go. Want to do that. There we go. Want to do that. There we go. Want to do that. There you go. Kick link. I got it, DJ. It's all good. You were right, and good job. Are things people hear too rarely? Good job of people. Yeah, exactly. They hear too rarely. Good job or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. There he is. Oh, Lucifer. Damn it, Jim. Need a doctor. All right, let's get back to it. Nope, not that one. There we go. Yeah, when you hurt your back, definitely Fabric. Back injuries, worst. The worst injuries to have. You use your back for everything. There you go. That's what it looks like when it's clean. Hey, DJ coming through on the Kick side. There you are. With Aris. Yeah, all cleaned up now, ready to go back together. So yeah, we were putting stuff up inside the building there. As you guys can see, there's the crane, which is very excellent thing to have. So handy. But there is a bigger pulled back shot of the anaerobic digester air. And you can see it comes in here, goes down and up through one, and then down and up through one, and then up and out. Outside to the biofilter. You have so much to do, no excuses to stay rested. I mean, rest your back though, eh? That's the most important thing. Otherwise, you're going to just be wrecked for life. Saw some poor lady walked all hunch over. Yeah, that's the worst. Oh, at the mobile station. But yeah, there you see, guys. There's a pulled out view of the... This is just for cleaning the air. That's all it does, is cleans the foul air out of the anaerobic digester. This is the inside floor of the anaerobic digester, where things get chopped up. This was when the hinge broke on me when I was trying to climb up the ladder, and the gate broke weight on the weld. Not very good. There's the makeshift fan I put on there to cool the shredder down, because the original fan was no good. Your problem is your old ass ain't very good at sitting still. Well, I'm glad you sit still for the stream, Fabric. There's another shot of the the scrubbers. Acid scrubber. Roof wrinkle? Ah, you know what? I don't know if I have pictures of that. It isn't that impressive, really. But yeah, they set up some scaffolding for us so we could work on it a little easier. And this acid is, you know how the acid chart goes from like 1 to 12 or 1 to 10? And 1 is the most acidic and 10 is like very basic or alkaline. This acid was in decimal points. We're talking like 0.5, 0.6. So super corrosive, like just unreal how it would just eat it. That's why full face mask, face shield, chemical coveralls required in the area. So it was crazy what they were dealing with, that they had to use that strong of an acid. I think I was draining out the tanks on a compressor. That's how much water was in there. These things weren't doing their job of discharging. I think the solenoids didn't work, so it was just full of water. But once again, this is in the digester building. You only sit still for the stream because this is the time of day where I can sit on the back porch and have your brandy and old cigar. Hey, that sounds great, Fabric. I'd like to join you with a good old brandy and a cigar. Just relax, sit back on the old deck there. The moonshine of acid, got it. Yeah, pretty much, James, pretty much. So that was the air compressor that they used for the anaerobic digester. So I'm sure all of this is going to get taken out. They'll either trash it, because it's the city. They don't have any brains. Obviously, you should try to recover this. It's a nice looking compressor and such. And yeah, put it on at the auction or something. Auction it off. Don't be foolish, but it's the city. Oh, here's a video I had of the shredder. Not very big. I can't make it bigger. So I think they shredded up a pallet. They were test running it, just seeing what it would, what it would look like shredding its stuff up, and then it goes to. Well, first it goes by the mag belt, and then it goes over to the trommel, or the rotating separator. Here you go. I'm not sure if the loader's coming in to dump stuff in there. It might be. No, it's way over there. No, I don't think so. There we go. There it is. Loader's bringing in some old pallets to chop up and see how the digester works. This guy is a terrible operator. He's so bloody slow. He hasn't even dumped it yet. So we're just going to skip ahead. And there we go. It is chopping up those pallets. Danny Crane, sleepover, minus making a TV show. Yeah, there you go. There's all the stuff getting chopped up. Goes by the mag belt, which gets rid of any of the metals that are in it. And then it gets shredded over here, or gets sorted out here to the rotating screen. And anything that's too big goes out the back, and anything small enough falls through the holes. There you go, and we should see some of the bigger stuff falling. There we are. Yep, something fell. The big stuff that doesn't go through the holes gets spit out back here. And I got to be careful so something doesn't get me when I'm filming. Later tonight, you got to drive over to Teton County, check on a horse. You got to see a man about a horse. I hope it's okay, Fabric. There we are. The stuff's dropping down. You can see it after it gets shredded. It's too bad I couldn't give you a look inside as the shredder is doing its job. That would look really, really good. Big giant teeth on this thing. We got a shot from the other side. This is how it holds down the conveyor belt so it can make that incline. So you can just use one belt. Once again, dumping in. And there comes the shredded wood. So they're not going to do this anymore, but now they have to get rid of this. They spent all their money to buy this stuff. The shredder, the conveyors, the mag belt, this rotating screen. They spent all that money. And now they just got to get rid of it. I'm sure Fabric he'll stay at the Beaver Hut. Right, Fabric? Go over to Teton County, stay at the Beaver Hut. Anyways, I got a few more here. There's that. There's this. And you guys can see. This was the building that they told you collapsed. It didn't. It had a wrinkle in the roof, as I said before. But this is them knocking it down because they were so hot and horny about getting this thing ripped down. I still think they're going to sell it to a developer, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Oh, Restream's having trouble again. Connecting to my chat. Don't start with me, Restream. This is how they did it. They just used an excavator and we took out the structural columns. I got to look at it from a few different angles. These are the drum digesters that the compost would go down in and get broken down in. Inside the dewatering building where they took all the solid waste and dewatered it, took the water out of it, separated it. You're long past sleeping in the truck. There you go. More of the holding tanks. There we go. Here's the video for the demolition of the building. Right in front of me is the biofilter. So it's a large filter where the foul air would go through and filter through to the atmosphere. Hey, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I heard today, this ties in with my story today, that one of the guys I know, they are shutting down the composting facility, the anaerobic digester, so he has to move over to the recycling facility. Here we go. This is how they were tearing it down when I was there. You got an excavator, and he would push on the main beams on the sides of the building. And that's pretty much it. It would just quietly, it was not spectacular. It wasn't a big giant explosion. It would just crumple. There he is pushing on it. those red faucet looking things, those are handles to control the airflow. So you could control the airflow to this filter, because that's what this is. This is a giant filter, what you're looking at. There's full of wood chips, and it would filter out the air that they would pull out of this building. It would actually use these guys right here, right where my mouse is here. This has 6 enormous fans that would pull air out of that building and push it through these filters. Yeah, crumple versus go boom. Exactly, Brandon. It was just a quiet, it would just slump down and that would be it. But these handles here would control how much air is coming through. And these are wide open. But you can meter them. If you're pushing too much air through, you can meter them back. You know, you could decide how much you wanted to go through. But usually they were wide open because you want to get as much air out of that building as possible. So that's what they would do. And there was a big, I'm standing on a concrete plenum, which is where the air would flow through and out into the into this wooded filter. So it's about 5 feet thick of wood chips. So there's quite a big layer, a lot of layers to go through before it finally, the air finally escapes. And it's supposed to take out a lot of the foul smelling air after that. So seems like it might be better to just make wood pellets for pellet burners. Yeah. The thing is they used like large wood chips because you need an air gap underneath the size of a cinder block. And that would allow the air to flow through and out. Rather than trying to push straight through wood right away, it would go underneath. There's, like I say, a 1 foot air gap underneath. And that's where the air would go and then come up and out. But yes, tearing this down. And then they're going to shut down the anaerobic digester part of it. So that's going to be a lot of guys having to look for jobs. Let me just look here and see if I got some more pictures of that. Because I find it just blows my mind that after all this time, they've decided to shut it down. Guys are being displaced, and other guys are going to the recycling facility. Or sorting. They're going to the sorting facility, because there is no recycling there. It's all about sorting. Thought I had a good picture here. Oh, here you are. Here's inside the roof. This is, so it's a double roof. So you've got the ceiling of the building, and then you got the roof, and there you can walk around here. This is at the entrance. You can look through, but the wrinkle would have been what is on the floor here. So you would have been able to see that and note that, oh, okay, there's a problem. Yeah. I just managed to snap that the one day I was working up there. You want to get a second IP cam, but you couldn't improvise with a webcam. Easier. Forward to OBS. Oh. Okay, let me see what else you got here. Here's a shot of inside the building. I'll show you here. So there's a view. So this is the shot looking into this attic, and this is where I'm at the top. As you can see, the building, the top of the building is right there. So I'm right at the top, on top of a, well, it's not a scaffolding. They put in a permanent staircase. And I'm looking out over the lake. Where is it now? There it is. This is the inside of the building. This was the biggest stainless steel building in North America. and I'm locked out one of the conveyors and I'm standing on it. I decided to get a picture. And yeah, it's that's all that is compost. All that's compost. All right, David, thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Have yourself a good night. And there's the machine that would turn all the compost. So that's yeah. All right. So there you go, guys. That's the local dope that's going on. The fact that they're shutting down the anaerobic digester. They don't have a plan as to what to do next. So I figure they're just going to send it all to landfill. All the garbage, they're not going to have a way to process it. So it's like, you know what? Just dump it in a hole. So once again, brilliant. The city of Edmonton is run by a bunch of morons. They don't know how to do anything. They have no brains. And, I expect they're going to try to pat themselves on the back for being environmentally conscious, but they're doing more harm than good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the night, guys. I'm going to start wrapping her up. Just want to thank all of you guys that came by, like David Glenn, who is now headed out, and B17, Godzillionaire, Fabric Folds. I know there was more guys here. Tanker over on Twitch. And I think I even saw, who else? Aris and DJ Ronnie G. Always a pleasure seeing you guys show up. James, of course. I know there was more of you here. And Lucifer, who wanted to have the link to Kick, which is, that's nice. It's nice to have more people over on Kick. And Brandon, it's always good to see you, buddy. Bunnies can't steer ships. That's why she has it in her hand. If you watch One Piece, you know what this is all about. Yeah, that's a great one from One Piece. I liked it. Anybody else who is watching and listening and lurking, I really appreciate you coming by. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Let them know Old Pop's here. We have a good time on Tuesday nights here on your most industrial stream. There's other people to watch that I personally enjoy as well. People like Pacific 414 and DJ Ronnie G. He was in the chat. Tune into DJ Ronnie G. He's got the Monday show on Thursday. There's Brandon, the anime guy, who was in the chat as well. And I always like watching his show on Saturday mornings. He always has Anime 101. And it makes for a great time. There's Carl at the RNG Podcast. Tomby, who's the bloke from across the pond in Britain. Angry Canadian, Nerdporo Lifeform. There's everyone's favorite penguin Punkwaddle. Don't forget to watch his penguin positivity. We need a lot of it in these times nowadays, and Punkwaddle really does hit the spot when you need that positivity. Fabric, you're finally starting this anime season. You're already dropped. Please take them off. So disappointed. You already dropped. Please take them off. Oh, did you watch the uncensored version though? There's censored and then there's uncensored. Also, I saw Osan Newbie Adventurer was dubbed. So there you go, Fabric. I saw kind of a couple of clips here on YouTube with it being dubbed. So if you can, watch Osan Newbie Adventurer. And finally, one guy to watch as well is Infinite Metal. He's on Kick and Twitch. And it's very entertaining to watch Infinite play retro games. And he gets mocked and ridiculed by his dragon friend Skelly, who is also voiced by Infinite Metal. So yeah, it's a great time. It's fun. He's a pretty chill guy, so. Saturday coming up, retro game day, more Penguins of Madagascar, more, finding my way through the mazes with these guys. There's a lot of levels to cover, so hopefully I will have a longer stream than last Saturday. I got a little bit of interrupted, but yeah. We'll try to make it a nice long stream. On it. Good. Right on, Fabric. Good to hear, man. No brains, empty brain case. You don't have any brains, to the tune of no eggs, empty egg carton. Oh, I don't know that one, James. But what I do know is on Sunday, on Anime Chat Day, we're doing remakes. Tune in and see some of the remakes that have occurred over the years. You'd be surprised. I know my Miss Mechanic was surprised when I'm like, yeah, they made a remake of this one show. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, they sure did. So tune in, see what shows I'm going to showcase, and see whether you like the original or you like the remake. Sometimes the remakes can be better, sometimes not. Sometimes the original is better. So come on by, bring your originals or remakes with you, and let's chat about it on Sunday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And then once again, we circle around again to Tuesday, more trades talk, more talking about the skilled trades, more news about being in industry there. Come on in for my and your industrial stream on a Tuesday night. All right, everyone. I really appreciate you coming by. I had fun tonight. I hope you did too. Hope you learned something. Remember, always make sure to pay attention to what is going on at your job. Always be aware about things that are happening. That way you can prepare, and if they happen to decide to shut things down, you'll be ready to go. So polish up that resume. Make sure you're trained up as much as you can get trained, and keep your ear to the ground. Always listen to see what is going on. And hopefully you won't get blindsided by something if they decide to shut things down. Like I say, I think I dodged a bullet that time. So it was just all luck and timing. Should be okay to play this since it's from YouTube. What is this, James?
No.
Empty egg carton. Don't you get my stream struck, James.
No eggs. No empty egg carton. You don't have any eggs. No eggs. No empty egg carton. You don't have any eggs. No eggs. No empty egg carton.
Oh, it says send to thoughts. It's your civic duty. No eggs, no eggs, no eggs, no eggs, no eggs. Yeah, okay. You got no eggs. That's pretty good, James. Right on, man. Okay, guys. I am heading out. Hope to see you guys on the weekend. Until next time, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.